Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to this edition of The Pipeline, where we are refining the news that is important to you. The United States is expected to produce more than any other country in the world this year, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. The EIA published an article last Friday about U.S. hydrocarbon production growth, comparing it to that of global oil and gas powerhouses Saudi Arabia and Russia. U.S. petroleum and natural gas production has risen 10 quadrillion BTU since 2008. The U.S. has been one of the world's top 3 oil producers for more than a decade and became the world's largest natural gas producer in 2009 when it surpassed Russia. Leaving natural gas and production aside, International Energy Agency projections for U.S. oil output suggest that it will overtake Saudi Arabia in crude output later in this decade. It is important to remember that projections are not an exact science. Countries like Libya and Iran, traditionally big oil producers, have experienced large output declines because of geopolitical factors. The U.S. relatively recent surge in production came as a shock, enough so that billions has been spent on infrastructure to accommodate a surge in natural gas imports. If Russia truly has a bigger, better Bakken in western Siberia, who is to say what global production trends will look like 3, 5, or 10 years from now? And let's not forget the question of energy independence. If the projections from the IEA are correct and U.S. oil production peaks at 11.1 million barrels per day in 2020, it would still fall short of consumption unless demand falls dramatically from last year's 18.5 million barrels per day.
The space between Eagle Ford wells is shrinking. The idea of spacing is a favorite topic of the oil and gas industry, which is agonizing over how closely it can place wells without having them cannibalize each other. Scott Sheffield, chairman and CEO of Pioneer Natural Resources, said that the first 3 years in the field was about defining the sweet spots. Now Pioneer, among many others in South Texas, are shifting gears, looking beyond exploration and appraisal. According to Sheffield, it's all about the execution now, and the main key is understanding how much more oil and condensate they will be able to get out. The big question on most of their minds is, can we downspace to 40 acres? Several operators, including Pioneer, are in the process of developing the play on 40-acre spacing over the next several years, until we decide what's going to happen to the gas side of the business. Operators in the Eagle Ford are hunting the more profitable crude oil and liquid condensate, and largely avoiding drilling natural gas wells until prices rise. The issue of spacing has become even more complex as companies start to look at other formations above and below the Eagle Ford. Drillers also are targeting rocks such as the Austin Chalk, Buddha, limestone, and Purcell Shale.
North Africa may be the next big opportunity after North America for oil and gas production from shale if drilling costs can be reduced. Repsol SA Geological Studies Director Eduardo Negri said that Repsol has conducted a regional study covering the whole Saharan platform in order to identify prospective areas for shale gas and oil from a geological point of view. One of the most important things required to consolidate a successful unconventional project is to have clear and stable contractual and fiscal terms specifically designed for unconventional wells. Energy Minister Youssef Yousfi said that Algeria's oil and gas output should double in 7 to 10 years as it brings on stream fields in underexplored regions and develops reserves of shale and tight gas. In neighboring Libya, the state-run National Oil Corp said that it may invite specialized companies to assess these country's shale oil and gas reserves and make the provisions for their extraction in a petroleum law that is being drafted. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching, and remember, we're drilling only for the relevant news and bringing it to you. through the pipeline.